Alright guys, so went ahead and got them ready. Everything's ready. I'm gonna do that over. Alright guys, Kegan here today. I have been left unsupervised. That's right, video by myself. Ben's around somewhere, he'll be back later, but this is my little project for today. Gonna affectionately call them the Frankenforks. They are, these are the ones that we had on the chopper for mock-up. I am going to be rebuilding these, and I'm going to be using the lower half from the original CB450, and then I'm going to be putting these tubes on. And I've done a little bit of research, but not enough to where I'm 100% sure. So if you're looking at this for an educational video or a how-to tutorial, I'm sorry, but I'm not your guy. But we'll see how things go. That being said, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the internals, but this is pretty much the entire internal of, you know, your front fork. Granted, this is from a CB450, but and a 72 at that, so you know, keep in mind. Yeah, that's as it stands. But getting ready to pull this drain plug out. That is on the bottom. Don't know if you guys can see, but don't know if you guys have ever changed or rebuilt forks before. Changed fluid or rebuilt them. It's a first for me. This is also a first for me. There is no fluid. I stand corrected. Now, as you can clearly see by the nice shade of, it looks green to me, but I'm gonna say it's been in there a while. But yeah, so knowing that there is fluid into it, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull the cap off up here so the rest of it can drain out, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I get the cap loose, so that way you guys can watch too. Alright guys, got the cap off. It's actually on the floor, don't know how it got there. Good as new. Anyway, started to drain it. As you can see, fluid is, I mean, it's only probably 50 years old, but alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and set it back up, and sorry, bucket moved. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera back up, and I'm gonna start tearing into this and set it up so that way you guys can watch, and you won't have to listen to me talk while we're doing that. So yeah. Alright guys, good bit of struggle, probably my own fault, but snap ring is off. Now is the fun part. Because this has the easy seals. The easy seals they later came out with is an improved design from the original. The easy seals are a solid rubber on the bottom with a metal top ring, and they actually use the fluid itself whenever it comes down to expand and seal. They're supposed to be fairly quick and easy to change. That's yet to be determined. Got it apart, and as you can see, ran into a little bit of having to figure it out because they're two completely different styles. The original forks use a rod running through, and your cap pushing down pushes in. Now, these forks, you have your connector on the bottom, and then you have your spring that sets on there like that, and then you have top side piece sets up against it. What I'm gonna have to do now is I'm gonna have to take all these collars, because this was set down on there, and this is the guide sleeve that goes down in there, and that's what it ran up and down on. Now on this one, the 450s, the tube itself ran straight down through. So they didn't have the collars or anything else onto it. So I'm gonna have to take these off and kind of just see if I can play around a little bit to make sure that I can get it the way it needs to be. This didn't work out because, make sure this is the right one, that's the right one. Internals are different. So with not being able to do this the way I want, I am going to go to plan B, which is rebuild the 750s, put it on there, and we will take it from there. Gonna put all the 450 stuff in a box because it might come in useful. But, and again, I was unsupervised, now I'm supervised, so I have to
gotta make him act right.
But we'll get this stuff back together, and you know, might take a little while, only seem like a second for you guys, but enjoy and have a laugh at my expense. Not you. Alright guys. So went ahead and put the bottom, the end of the tube, you know, the part that the little bolt goes into the housing. I don't really know what you call it, the bottom of the piece that holds the spring. Anyway, went ahead and got it in, tightened it up a little bit. It's kind of a pain because really the only way you can get to it, there's not like a way to put a socket or anything onto it to tighten it up, is jam your finger down there in the hole and then twist it from the bottom side and keep applying pressure, and you know, just sit there and take it and hope you don't twist your finger off. Anyway, I know it sounds stupid, it is. Yeah, it's me, sorry. Anyway, got the tube, new seal, brand new seal, ring for seal. Anyway, as you guys saw from the earlier parts of the video, has a collar onto it You know, checked and made sure all the clamps, everything else, pretty good. So when putting it back together, just slide it down in there. Get it to sit right there. Now, you got to press that seal. So for that, I took to the scrapyard. There's a welding bench. Got me a piece of pipe. And put up on there. Made sure that it's big enough to go over the tube, but not so wide that it's going to hit off the housing. And then apply a little weight. No comment. And it's in.
He said something about using a little weight earlier.
And there we go.
I don't see anything on him that is a little weight.
This is payback for heckling you and all the other videos, isn't it?
110%.
Alright. So, get your retainer, get it down in. If you're like me, it probably won't set right. That's where the pipe comes in handy again. Put it down on there. Together. So, from here on, we'll put the springs, the spacers back in. We'll look up to see exactly how much each tube needs for this nice brand new little fork oil.
The scary part about that is he actually looked like he knew what he was doing.
That is kind of scary.
A little bit.
Oh, anyway. But yeah, we'll see how much we need and we'll measure it, put it in, and we'll get the caps on, and then we'll go to straighten it up and put it back in the triple tree. Alright guys, did a little bit of scrounging because where these came off of a CB750, to find the amount of oil that would have to go into them, and where these are long tubes, I couldn't find it online. Everyone varies, no one has any kind of set amount. Apparently even the original manual for the CB750 bikes varied on their amounts. So, found a Surefire. Multiple people have said it might be the wrong way, but it's the way I did it. You know, there was a couple people backing it up, so went that way. Went to 6 inches below the top, and that is where it is filled to without the springs and without the spacing rods. So, having done that, I'm going to put the springs in, lift this up, put the springs in, put the rod in, and put the cap on, and we're going to be done. Now, I went with 10 weight. So, after looking and, you know, seeing what everyone else was doing, saw people, a lot of sports bikes were doing 5. I think even, you know, brand new tubes were calling for 5. These are obviously not brand new because you saw what came out of them. So I figured the angle, because it's going to be on a chopper, and the age, I would go ahead and take it up to a 10. I do kind of like the front end to be, you know, not rock solid, so I didn't go with a 15. But if you're planning on doing one, it's whatever your style is. So that was the reason why I chose 10 weight. It might be a poor reason, it might not be right for this bike, but that is fork oil and it's in the tube. So we'll get them together and we'll see if it works, see if I can get it all back on the bike. If you're rebuilding them out, like outside the triple tree, an easy, I'm filming.
Oh.
An easy way to do it is to gently put one into a vise and find you a socket and then press down, kind of turn it, get it tight, and then snug it up. And they no longer leak, and they're about stiff enough So we'll see how they do. And if we don't like them,
You can always add more oil, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
or take some oil out. I'm assuming that's the way it's done. I saw a couple people. They said pull the spring out, pull the spacer out, 6 inches from the top approximately. So that's what I did with these. So, yep. 10-weight fork oil, couple seals, fork rebuild. Didn't get to do what I originally wanted, but got it done.
He's used to that by now.
But the goal is now, regardless of whether or not I can use that caliber, the forks are done. So, get another caliber and one step closer in the build.
If you want to see more Kagan videos, comment below.
And if you don't,
Comment below.
oh, also, while we're here, somewhere down here, like and subscribe.
Guys, see you later.
You'll definitely be seeing me again. Probably filming too. Bye, guys.